Hey guys, welcome back to the Southern Style Mudding. We're just taking apart a rear diff out of a Can-Am. This will be the process of taking that apart.
What my colleague here failed to mention is a 2011 or 2012 Can-Am Outlander 1000 XMR-ish. It was a XT that has everything that XMR had except for the rear diff. This is actually a Gen 2 off of a newer model rear diff. It has the brake on the drive shaft, but there's no brake caliber mounts for on the diff, which would normally be on there. We can show you here in a minute what one with the brake setup actually looks like. We have two other in the shop. We have two 2012s. One's a 500, one's a 650. This is off of my personal bike. Those other two are customer bikes, and I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. Did it anyways, and I'm paying the price for it as soon as I can get that cleaned out. So what it did is the pinion bearing had a lot of slack in it, was bad. Didn't realize it wasn't making any roaring noises. Wasn't even making any noise indicating that the bearing was bad in the diff. Didn't have any slack other than when I just inspected it, it did have slack. What it did is it brought the pinion out of mesh with the ring enough for it to weaken the teeth on the ring gear, which in fact broke a tooth. That's what I'm assuming. This is the first time I'm having it apart, but there's a lot of slack before it starts moving the ring gear. That's what I'm been motorizing, so oldie but a goodie. Get in there. Don't do that. I almost stripped that out just a second ago. You gonna hold this?
Yeah.
So later on, I'm just taking it apart and inspecting it, seeing exactly what's wrong with it. I know I'm going to need bearings for it, ring and pinion, and all new seals. So, fun part. Support. Bearing seems like it's doing pretty good, but I got a lot of mud and sludge in there. Look at all that. That's all metal shavings. So that tells me assuming I can get this out relatively easy. Look at all those metal shavings.
Hold it up a little bit closer so they can see it better.
Huh? Oh. This is all metal shavings out the bottom. That tells me that it's been grinding and whatnot. The oil in it is actually metallic. Got a metallic tint to it. So that also indication that even before seeing the actual pinion itself and ring, that tells me that there's something wrong. See if I can't find a way to get grip on this. There's my problem. Alright, so you want to keep up with these because the new kit doesn't come with the spacers, and there should be one on this side too. So let me clean this off and I'll come back and I'll show you the problem with it. Alright, I'm back. So I didn't clean out the diff. I know there's going to be chunks of ring gear.
There is unfill it.
But the pinion gear's pretty ate up right here and right here. So that's because this bearing right here in this case is out. So this is what happened. I put it in too much of a bind and a hole one time and it skipped right here.
A little bit more.
It skipped right here. And there's where you see where it's been kind of jumping around because the ring gear is not meshed in those grooves of the gear good enough that it's bouncing around, skipping, jumping. You see how it does that. Well, eventually when I got it into a real bind doing something I wasn't supposed to do, it sheared off these three teeth right here. So now every time I drive it, it makes loud noises, roaring noises because of this. And when it hits this, the pinion gear down here just skips, and you have to drive it full drive. The diff is bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in with new bearings and some case bearings, both sides. There's that other one. Make sure there's this ring right here goes on the outside casing. This goes on the inside casing. They're different thicknesses. So we go in with a new pinion, new ring, new bearings, and all new seals on the outside. I'm going to reuse the cases. Nothing wrong, nothing in the case indicating no cracks that I see visually. I'll do some closer inspection later. But other than this right here, we'll smooth that out. That ain't going to be too much of an issue because the spacing's from this bearing and right here. So we'll smooth that out. But other than that, the casing looks okay. There is some water in it, so that tells me that it wasn't sealed as good as it should have been. See how the water separated from the oil. So we'll get some parts in for it, and we'll get you another video of me reassembling. It'll be all cleaned up. The case is going to look brand new. This brake is going to be off because, like I said, this is a Gen 2. I have a newer model differential. So my bike, as you can see, there's no mounting places. It would be back here, but it's not there. There's no mounting places for it for the brake caliper to ride. Yeah. So, and you can tell there hadn't been nothing riding on it for a while. So there's no rear brakes. I have front brakes only. Because the newer bikes, the brakes are actually on the wheels instead of back here on the diff. So, but yeah, that's really all I got for you today, or right now. We're about to clean the Honda, get it ready for sale. We're going to use the money out of it to kind of fund some of the projects we have in the shop. We got Matthew's brute force we need to finish up. Well, really start on it. Got to finish up my bike. We'll get some video input on that, and looking forward to bringing you some good stuff once we get these bikes fixed. Once we get these bikes fixed, we're going to be going through some stuff these bikes shouldn't be and probably be back in the shop fixing them again. Alright.